Some mothers, some fathers, some children, some families are called upon to bear a heavy burden here in mortality. Such a family was the Borgstrom family in northern Utah. The time was World War II. Fierce battles raged in various parts of the world. Tragically, the Borgstroms lost 4 of their 5 sons who were serving in the armed forces. Within a 6-month period, all 4 sons gave their lives, each in a different part of the world. Following the war, the bodies of the 4 Borgstrom brothers were brought home to Tremont, and an appropriate service was conducted, filling the Garland, Utah Tabernacle. General Mark Clark attended the service. He later spoke with tenderness these words: "I flew to Garland the morning of June 26th, met with the family, including among others the mother, father, and 2 remaining sons, one a lad in his teens. I had never met a more stoic group. As the 4 flag-draped coffins were lined up in front of us in the church, and as I sat by these brave parents, I was deeply impressed by their understanding, by their faith, and their pride in these magnificent sons who had made the supreme sacrifice for principles which had been instilled in them by noble parents since childhood." During the luncheon period, Mrs. Borgstrom turned to me and said in a low voice, "Are you going to take my youngest one?" I answered in a whisper that as long as I remained in command of the Army on the West Coast, if her boy were called, I would do my best to have him assigned to duty at home. In the middle of this whispered conversation with the mother, the father suddenly leaned forward and said to Mrs. Borgstrom, "Mother, I've overheard your conversation with the general about our youngest. We know that if and when his country needs him, he will go." I could hardly contain my emotions. Here were parents with 4 sons lying dead from wounds received in battle, and yet they were ready to make the last sacrifice if their country required it. Close quote. It is the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ that touched home and heart that ever to be remembered day.